Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, thank you, and leave the rest. What's hidden from the viewer? So interesting as I'm kind of looking psychically at the energy and what's hidden. I'm seeing water, like scrying specifically. That's interesting. All right, outcome and advice. Wait, such specific imagery. Someone laying under a tree with a hat, like taking a nap under a tree. All right, let's take a look at these cards. There's a lot of cards. Okay, in the overall energy, we have the Four of Wands in reverse, kind of off to the side. Oh, okay. Three of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. I recognize this energy. Four of Wands in reverse. It feels like you believe that you're taking the next step in celebration, but instead it feels like the longer you stay, it's more miserable with time. Four of Wands upright is like wedding, celebration, taking the next step in life, and it's joyful and happy. This feels like taking those next steps, but it keeps getting more and more miserable. Not intentionally. It feels like you believe you're heading towards something worth celebrating, but instead realizing this is not what I planned. Knight of Cups in reverse. It feels like a false illusion, a delusion. Someone sold you, in the Knight of Cups, it feels like they sold you some fantasy that was in that cup. So there's some false reality. And then Three of Cups reverse. There's a toxic group, could be a family, toxic family group. All right, what do we need to know about this energy? How can, ooh, Devil, Five of Cups, very toxic, codependent, obsessions, addictions. Feels like I'm talking about the family. Ooh, there is a lot of grief in this family system. Ooh. Why is the Five of Cups here? What's this grief? Grief, disappointment, regret. I'm feeling a lot of disappointment and regret coming from the Five of Cups. It feels like it's a toxic family system. Three of Wands. Something's happening. It's closer than you think. Three of Wands is my timing card. It's interesting because there's a lot of this watery energy, a lot of emotions. Three of Cups, Five of Cups, and this feels like someone might be like trying to fire through those emotions, trying to get out into the world. What is this? Ten of Cups, Chariot. More emotions. Ten of Cups. Moving on from this, making moves, moving on. What type of moves? What type of plan? This feels like the long game. There's some type of strategy or plan. Oh my gosh. This family, this toxic system is they are very toxic. Devil energy. They don't know how to process emotions. Definitely like the really difficult emotions, painful emotions. God, this is a long game. This is a family strategy. It feels unconscious, like they're not having meetings and discussing this toxic way of showing up. But what I'm seeing here is a family that does not know how to heal emotions, how to process through emotions and grief. And so there's this long strategy, long plan. It's like they create partnerships, like romantic partnerships that are a false illusion. Selling, the person, oh my gosh, yeah, whatever it is that the other person outside of this family that's marrying into the family, there's this create a bait and switch here, a false illusion, and then it's like having your own scapegoat, your own person, private, that you place all the blame on. All emotions, all responsibility for emotions are on the partner. They become a scapegoat. It's their fault. It's anything that goes wrong, it's them. This is it's a way of not dealing with emotions, but not having to carry your own emotions and the burdens of those emotions. And so it feels like there's a long game here to attract partners into a toxic family system. It feels like there's a lot of unhappiness behind closed doors. No one's talking about this. This is all in the unconscious, subconscious. It feels like whoever I'm talking to, it feels like you married into a toxic family where the truth about, it feels like you brought up a lot about before the Four of Wands in reverse. Before the commitment ceremony, before the wedding, things were really good. Because this person was saying, yes, that they want the same thing that you want. And they're showing up in a way that's like a partnership. But it feels like after the ceremony, there's a huge change, a big shift. And then slowly over time, the reality of what the relationship is. It feels like having someone close to you that you blame everything on. So you don't have to be burdened with that responsibility of those emotions. You just have someone there that's just constantly loving you, trying to fix things, trying to nurture you. And you're like, this person's projecting all blame, all shame, all responsibility for how they're feeling. Yes, this is an emotionally immature person, wildly immature, weaponizes communication. They're not an ally to the truth. The truth is whatever they want it to be. Feels like this person denies your reality, denies your perspective, denies your feelings and emotions, and they have quite a glow up inside this relationship. This person really benefits from being in a connection with you, viewer, because it feels like you're giving so much time, energy, care to this person, and at some point they switch and now you're in the real relationship. There's a bait and switch here. False reality. All right, let's look at what's hidden. King of Pentacles in reverse and 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This was not your happily ever after. This person fakes a lot. This person, this whole family is very fake. It's all about the illusion. They're not really stable. They're not really secure. They're not really wealthy. They just need to give off that impression. So they're willing to say whatever to get people in this environment. So it feels like the family of origin feels like there are 3 people, and then they're partners. 3 people that are in this toxic devil energy: codependent, dependent, obsession, addictions, lying to I do not envy their partners, because their partners are each in miserable relationships where it feels like you might be in one of those or were. So they're being scapegoated. So it feels like it's a family pattern, a family, the way they do business. This is definitely the way they do business. So they lie, cheat, steal, whatever, to convince someone that, oh my gosh, yes. And then after some type of commitment, after a wedding ceremony, then there's a bait and switch and the real relationship starts coming out. All right. It feels like it took you a while to reconnect the dots and realize that this person is purposefully deceptive. It feels like it's conflicting, seeing this person in the reality of what this relationship is versus your idealized, your dream, your fantasy of wanting this to be your happily ever after. Feels like that conflict with reality and with what you really want it to be gets you working really hard to try to fix this, try to make this work. While inside this connection, this relationship, you're being just chipped away at. Your reality, your perspective. It doesn't feel like you're even allowed to talk about what's going on. Kind of has a little bit of a secretive Fight Club. Like you're not allowed to share. And even if you do, it feels like they just negate your reality, negate your perspective, negate your feelings. So your reality and how you're perceiving things just don't matter, don't exist. This person, how they're seeing things, is the only thing that matters. Jeez. What I'm seeing here, though, is that, hey, that you have got a lot of beautiful energy, world building type of energy. Now I can see why this person needs you, and they chip away at you until you need them. So they create codependency here. This person's wildly insecure. It feels like you're very confident, or at least before this person, there's a lot of confidence here that they could never. Because they're unwilling to take the risks to create going after what you desire. This is just this whole family that I'm tuned into. They just, they've got their own personal punching bag. That's what their intimate romantic relationship is. Bringing someone in that you own, and you manipulate, and you belittle, and you chip away at everything that makes them wonderful, and buoy themselves. Take, don't give. It feels like over time you're doing all the work, all the labor, and this person is just benefiting off of it. Feels like they've chipped away so much at who you are, you don't even recognize yourself. You don't even recognize your reality because someone's been denying your emotions, denying your perspective, denying your voice. You just, where do you live? Where are you? It feels like you're kind of lost in the sauce. 5 of Cups, a lot of grief and sadness. Especially once you realize that this relationship is working for them, that you were operating in good faith, looking for a good faith relationship, and this person's not operating in good faith. And with the intentions, you just can't fix that. You know what I mean? All right. In the outcome and advice, we have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Not moving on to calmer waters, unable to move away. Oh. Ace of Swords, the truth. Someone's nervous about the truth coming out. Who's speaking these bars? I'm seeing how they landed. Okay. I think it is a challenge for you to speak up and step into King of Swords energy. Cut people out who feel very comfortable with really deplorable treatment of you. I think you're the only one that can speak up to this, speak out. You have the truth. You are holding on to the truth, which challenges this. So it feels like the best way this person has, since you've got a lot of truth, you know where the bodies are buried, you know about their behavior. So this person wants to keep this hidden. Keep the truth hidden. Boy. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. So we've got all this new energy coming out. New opportunity, new truth, justice, Moon. This has been very hidden. This pattern in this family, this toxic family, there's justice coming out. There's an opportunity for justice. Part of the truth, and this is even a card for justice for me, victory, feels like your challenge is to cut people out who don't care about you, who manipulate you. You don't need to give access to people who treat you poorly. Truth. You don't have to get, once you learn someone's, MO, cutting them out, cutting this family out, cutting anyone who feels comfortable operating in bad faith and manipulation and coercive control and kind of trading places with you. Taking someone really amazing, beautiful, fiery energy and just whittling away at them until they're nothing. It feels like you gave a lot of your power away. You gave your energy away to this person. It feels like you're exhausted, depleted, completely drained at the end of this. And it feels like someone's very nervous because you know the truth and can create justice. So they need to create bad luck for you. They need to make you seem, insane? So nobody will listen to you. They're trying to control how you're being perceived. So people won't listen to you. Yeah, won't. So you can't find justice. Let's see. It's interesting because it feels like you, viewer, have this energy of, like, once you're like, it gets very easy for you to come back to yourself, to validate reality and keep validating, this is how I'm feeling right now, this is how I'm feeling, and validate your own emotions. This person has invalidated every aspect of who you are, so you do feel a little lost, a little crazy, a little lost in the sauce, because you've been trying to make something work that was never meant to work the way you wanted it to. So it takes a bit of time to find what the truth is, what reality is, and start validating your own truth. I'm feeling this. I'm seeing this. That is true. I'm seeing this. Okay, I'm feeling this way, and that's true. It's valid. My feelings are valid. Anything else that the viewer needs to know about justice? How to create justice? How to find justice? First thing I'm getting is focusing, decentering this person and focusing on you. Get them, center yourself, align with you, get to know yourself. You're a very different person on the other side of this. Healing, coming out of confusion. Some of the best ways I've found to create justice is to embody it, to stay balanced in your thoughts. Don't go down the rabbit hole. You could just go on. I think there's a period of time of analyzing as you leave these systems, and you're so confused and lost. So it takes some time. Be gentle with yourself. You're gonna make it. It's kind of taking away the layers of deception and manipulation and finding yourself again. healing, letting go, staying balanced in your thoughts. Don't go down a hole. Also, I've found taking radical acceptance of what's happened. I accept what's happened. And when you accept what's happened, that it couldn't have happened any other way, now what? Now, what can I do with that? A lot of the frustration and upset about the past can be helped out with a belief system that everything that's happened, I can make work for me. Anything that happens to me is happening for me. And it's just my job to figure out why that happened and how that works for me. There's connecting the dots in a different way, seeing things differently, neuroplasticity, learning from a new vantage point, and focusing on what you want. What is it that you want going forward? I want to be myself. I want to find my way through this. I want to get out of this survival mode and thrive. What steps do I need to take? What's one step I can take today to get towards becoming the version of myself that I prefer? What's one action that I can take today? Tomorrow I'll do another action. And then when you add those up, then you're moving in a direction. Also following your highest excitement. This feels like very compressed energy. You might be feeling blah, not a lot. I know when I lost myself in the sauce in this type of energy, I was so lost and attuned to someone else and not attuned to my own energy for so long, chronically, that I didn't even know what I wanted. I didn't know what made me happy because everything was like trying to figure out how to make this person. So I was like not really even in the equation. And so it's very different to take that equation out and put yourself, what do I want? What do I want to do? What do I like? And it's quite exciting to get to know yourself. It's scary. There's painful energies. There's emotions, tons of emotions, repressed emotions that come up to be felt, to be sat with. Yep. Not pushing them away, not repressing them, not pushing them away and blaming someone for this, but owning your emotions. They're your feelings. And so sitting with and understanding how to sit with uncomfortable emotions so you can burn through them and get the wisdom from them. Emotions aren't there for shits and giggles. They're important. They're telling you something. And so it feels like you have a real opportunity here to really get to know yourself, get to know your emotions, be able to sit with your emotions, and then on the other side, recognizing the wisdom and putting that to use. So, all right. I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.